How we doing, folks? Hope everyone's good. Sure, there'll be a few people quite surprised to see me back on YouTube. Obviously after such a long hiatus. I've just wanted to completely give myself a break from the whole platform. Move away 100% from that toxic corner of YouTube that I ended up being involved with. As I'm sure pretty much everyone knows, it might be fun to watch it from the outside, but from the inside, all it causes is misery, destruction, just nothing. I can't think of anything really positive that comes out of that corner of YouTube. So I've completely removed myself from it. I no longer have any contact whatsoever with anyone from YouTube at all, from social media in general, really. I really have removed myself from the internet, really, as a whole, and I feel so much better for it. I'm not going to lie, the last couple of months have not been great for me. Been a lot of change, a lot of it not good, a lot of it good. At the moment, I'm kind of living my life a bit like I'm a bit of a monk at the moment. I'm sort of just eating, sleeping and training. Now, I just wanted to talk a little bit about dealing with adversity and dealing with difficult times in life, which recently, well, over the past weeks, months and actually years, I've had quite a lot of difficult, tough, rough times that I've had to go through, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about how I maybe dealt with those times and still try and deal with those times now. Just maybe it'll hopefully help me talking about the way that I've dealt with these sort of things, and hopefully it might help a few other people. I don't know, I hope so anyway. So the first thing that I would say is, whenever you're going through a difficult situation, is thinking about taking responsibility for your part in it. It's very easy to start blaming other people, everything else, your circumstances, things that are out of your control. And yeah, of course, things that are out of our control happen all the time, but it's then up to us how we deal with those things. And so the reason that you're in the position that you're in, whatever that position is because of all the decisions that you've made in your life up to that point. So yes, things might have happened to you, about you, that are completely out of your control and are out of order, and people have done wrong to you and things like that. But you've got to think, well, what was my part in it? What did I do, and what was my reaction to it that's put me in the position that I'm in now? So for example, say somebody's child gets killed, gets run over or something like that. The parent's obviously going to be, going through very, very bad grief, turmoil, everything else. What decisions could they make? They could find the person who ran the kid over and do damage to him, kill him, hurt him, whatever it may be. Or they could, somehow find it in themselves to sort of forgive him. Or, there's different options that you could take. My point being, not what the specificities of those options are, but more what the outcomes are. So obviously, that person decided to go and attack the person who'd hurt or killed their child, then that's going to have consequences for them, i.e. they're probably going to end up in prison for a long time, if not for the rest of their lives. So is it worth that? The pain that it caused that person and that person's extended family? And that's a decision that person's made based on something bad that's happened to them that was out of their control. So that's kind of the point that I'm trying to make. your decisions that you make, your reactions to things always have a knock-on effect. So for me, when I'm going through bad times in life, rather than blame anything and everything else, I try and look inside and say, what have I done? What have I done, and what can I make sure that I don't do again, and what can I change? And sometimes that's really difficult, because I'm guilty of making the same mistake over and over and over and over again loads of times. These things happen, but I honestly believe that eventually that's the way that you become a better person, to look at yourself and to think about your decisions and where they've got you. So that's the first thing that I wanted to talk about. And then the other thing, being really, really simple, although it's very, very hard to do, and that's trying to find the positive in every negative situation. And I believe there always is one. And it's just a case of, looking at the problems that you've got, looking at the difficulties you've got in life, the situation that you're in, whether it be really, really bad, quite bad, and just looking, what is the positive? What can I take positive out of this situation? One example, when I was in prison, I was padded up with a lad who been accused of murder. And he was looking at, obviously, a long, long sentence. First offence, never been in trouble before, never been in prison before. And obviously he was pretty terrified at the prospect, spending the rest of his life, if not a lot of years, inside prison. And he spoke a lot about this, and we discussed it sort of at length. And the only really positive, the main positive thing that I could tell him was, look, maybe you could look at this as a kind of reset for your life, because the guy had a lot of debt outside, he had a lot of problems, mental health issues and things, of that nature. His life was in a lot of turmoil, and prison, at least, was giving him structure and time to just reassess his life. And he actually said to me that was the best piece of advice or information that anybody had given to him recently. Because obviously he'd been upset speaking to his family and friends and things like that. But what do you say to someone who's in that situation? And that was the only sort of bit of advice I could give him. Try and find a positive. Look at this experience as a reset for your life. Maybe it's going to be 15 years before you can resume your life, but you can use that 15 years productively, learn a trade, educate yourself, and just try and make yourself a better person. So that's just a couple of thoughts about how I try and deal with difficult situations. And believe you me, these last few months and years have been very difficult for me. Been a lot of negative things. I could put a lot of blame around there, but I choose not to, and I just choose to take responsibility for my actions and say to myself, what am I going to do to make things better? And that's the best thing that I can say, really. So yeah, just keeping my head down, travelling and enjoying life, really. Enjoying just the quiet life, the simple life. I'm living quite a stoic life, to be perfectly honest. And I must admit, I am enjoying it. It's good. So yeah, that's where I'm at, just to let everyone know. Hope everyone is doing good, and I'll be back soon with another vlog just to let you know how I'm going on. Take care, people.